Chiefs Kingdom. Today, we are breaking down our Week 15 matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. And I know I've said this before, guys, but this is an absolute must-win game. The Chiefs' season could be on the line if you don't win this one. We're going to break it down and how I think Kansas City can get the win right here on the Chiefs Report. So like I said off the top, Chiefs Kingdom, you're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports, and my name is Jackson Durham, and here's what we've got on the agenda for today. We're going to talk about what Week 15 means for the Kansas City Chiefs playoff odds, especially what winning and losing would look like. We're going to talk about a Week 15 injury report, and then we're going to get into the keys to victory. How to beat Los Angeles, which the injury report will have a major impact on. Two huge pieces of injury news that actually bode very well for our Kansas City Chiefs. And then lastly, as we always do, I'm going to give you guys my prediction. But like I said in the intro, guys, this is as must-win gets for Kansas City. I know last week I was saying we need this one against Houston, and we did. We absolutely did. But if we don't win this week, the season could potentially be over. So I need you guys to do your part. I need you guys to help out Kansas City. I need you guys to help out me. I need you guys to subscribe to the channel if you want the Chiefs to win this week. Show Kansas City we're behind them. Hit that subscribe button and send the message that you want the Chiefs to bring home the W this week. Because, and we talked about this in yesterday's video, if you checked it out, if you're one of our real ones, this could be it. This is the first time this season, I know I've said it a couple times, that our season is genuinely on the line. We have an elimination scenario this week, guys. If we lose to the Chargers, and the Bills beat the Patriots, and the Jags beat the Jets, and the Texans beat the Cardinals, our season could be over. And look, I know that's a lot of things that have to happen. And you may think, what are the odds of all four of those things occurring? Well, if you take it out of your own hands, if you lose to the Chargers, pretty damn good. According to ESPN's FPI, they have the Jags at a 77% chance to win their game, a 71% chance for the Texans to bring home the dub against the Cardinals. Remember, the Jags are facing the Jets, and then the Bills, 54.3% chance to beat the Patriots, which, if I was doing it, feels a little high to me, but the point is, take control of the situation. Do not leave it in those three teams' hands. We're going to need some help from those guys anyway. It'd be great if they lost, but you cannot be eliminated this week if you win. Just win the game. Take control of the situation. Do not end up watching and praying that other teams lose because you lost this week, that your season isn't over. But like I said, we've got a couple pieces of injury news to discuss that should help us stay alive this week, in my opinion. Two things on the negative end. Jawan Taylor remains out of practice at this point. He's still dealing with a pectoral injury, initially reported as a tricep injury. They're now classifying that as a pectoral injury. That was coming out of last week's game against Houston, where he obviously left. So, with him off the roster, and with Wanya Morris off the roster as well, Wanya obviously hitting injured reserve, leaving on the first snap. Trent McDuffie, though, this is where the positive news begins. That's all the negative news. We're all through that. The positive news, though, Trent McDuffie, his hyperextended left knee did not keep him out of practice on Wednesday. That is a big, big development for Kansas City. It does look like he's trending towards playing. Trey Smith, as well, a high and low ankle sprain for Trey Smith. He was a full participant for Kansas City in practice. So enormous that we were able to get both of those guys back in practice. And when you think about getting it's just ultimately getting the roster healthy, getting Trey Smith back on the roster at the end of the day, back on the offensive line should be huge. Because still think about it. We have still a number of injuries in that department. Jawan is not trending towards playing this week. Josh Simmons is still out. Esa Pillay is going to be in at left tackle. We'll get the depth chart pulled up in just 1 minute. But getting Trey back is absolutely huge because it allows us to get what I have always told you guys, and I will continue to tell you guys, is the weakest link in the offensive line out, Mike Caliendo. Last week against Houston, we saw it time and time again. I was worried about how this offensive line combination was going to perform, and really the only weak link was Mike Caliendo. So getting him out of there, getting Trey Smith, who is not just better than Mike Caliendo, but arguably the best guard in the entire NFL, back into the lineup, back into our starting lineup, that's enormous. That locks down the interior of this line because, look, I trust Jalen Moore and I trust Esapale to fill the roles well. We saw that against Houston. That's one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL. And the bookends weren't the problem. It was the interior. So getting Trey Smith back, absolutely huge. Let's talk about Trent McDuffie a little bit more. He, according to Sam McDowell and Andy Reid, via Andy Reid, is dealing with some soreness at practice, but is still participating. And so it's one of those things where this could go the other direction pretty quickly. But the fact that he is participating, if he was to re-aggravate it, but the fact that he is participating in practice is a great sign. It feels like we're trending in the right direction to have McDuffie out there. But if we don't, it was Noel Williams that filled in for him, and Noel played very, very well. You guys know I'm a huge supporter of Noel Williams, and I really, really thought he did an excellent job filling in. But up next, we're going to talk about how the Chiefs can beat the Chargers in Week 15, how we can bring home this win, my keys to victory. But first, I've got the keys to a great holiday party for you guys, and it starts with Omaha Steaks. Omaha Steaks is the best in the meat industry. You guys know it if you are a regular viewer of our channel, that I absolutely love this stuff, whether I'm cooking for my fiance, whether I'm cooking for the family when they come in town, which they are this year. They're coming down to see us in Dallas. So I've got the Omaha Steaks ready to go to cook up a delicious steak dinner. The family always does steak for Christmas. It's a tradition, and Omaha Steaks is going to help us keep it going with their unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Guys, right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites, too, because not only is every steak perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland, but I've also got an exclusive deal just for our Cheese Report viewers. The Kingdom is going to get an extra $35 off with promo code Chiefs at checkout. That's promo code Chiefs at checkout. So save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Chiefs at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code Chiefs at checkout. Terms to apply. See site for details. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment if you want to go check out Omaha Steaks. We absolutely appreciate it, and we absolutely appreciate you using code Chiefs when you check out. Supports the channel, supports the show. Big thank you to Omaha Steaks. Let's get into the keys to victory. Number one, get the run game going early. Do not do what we did in week one. If you rewind, I know it's been a while. It's been a couple months at this point. But if you go all the way back to that week one game out in Brazil against the Chargers, our running backs had 10 carries for 41 yards, an average of just 4.1 yards per carry, and a long of 10 yards. Longest rush of 10 yards. I know we had some things flipped around on that graphic, but the 4.1 average and the longest rush was just 10 yards. Way too one-dimensional on offense. Only carried the ball 10 times. You know how many times we threw it? 39. Almost 4 times as much as we ran the ball. That is unacceptable at the end of the day. You cannot be that one-dimensional. And, well, we did run the ball a couple more times. I think Patrick Mahomes added in 5 scrambles. But those were attempts to pass that Patrick Mahomes turned into carries. So the split could have been even worse. And what we didn't end up taking advantage of, and maybe it was hard to know this at the time, given we hadn't seen that Chargers defense perform yet, is that this Chargers defense is not good at protecting against the run. They currently rank 25th in the NFL in yards per carry allowed. This is a weak point of this defense. They're allowing almost 5 yards per carry, 4.6. We can attack. Kareem Hunt can create gaps. Kareem Hunt's been so successful over the last couple games. I do not want to see us become the one-dimensional pass-only attack that we know, unfortunately, Andy Reid is prone to doing at times. I want to see Andy Reid diversify things in this one. I want to see Andy Reid focus on establishing the run, I want to see him focus on consistently going to that so we can set up play action, so we can be two-dimensional as an offense. Number 2, key to victory. Contain the QB run game. Justin Herbert, I know, is not traditionally thought of as a dual-threat mobile quarterback. But this season, he's been really good. Taking off, using his legs. Despite dealing with an injury in his hand, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in a minute, he has been willing and able to create offense for the Chargers with his legs, especially on Monday Night Football against Philadelphia. But 67 carries for 419 yards, averaging over 6 yards per carry. And against Philly, he carried for 66 yards against those guys. Some critical first down pickups against a really good defense. We know how good that Eagles defense is. So, what I want to see is us contain the QB run. We need to be able to spy Justin Herbert. That could be Drew Tranquill or Nick Bolton. Somebody has to take the responsibility of making sure Justin Herbert does not escape the pocket, of playing great contain and forcing him to be a pocket passer. That is what I want to see Kansas City ultimately do, because I don't believe Justin Herbert is capable of attacking us with his arm. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But if you guys want weekly previews, the latest Chiefs news and rumors, ball knowledge like this to get you ready for every Chiefs game for the rest of this season, for next season, get you ready for the draft when the draft comes up, we have got you covered all season long, all off season long here on the Chiefs Report. So hit that subscribe button today. Be a real one. Join our kingdom. But getting into Justin Herbert, the reason why I don't think he can beat us as a pocket passer right now, the reason why I don't think he can torch us the way he normally would be able to, it's not that I don't respect Justin Herbert. I absolutely do. He's still dealing with a broken bone in his hand. This dude's tough as nails. I'm not going to take away any credit for him. Dude is very tough. But the passing stats against Philadelphia reflect the passing stats of a guy who is playing with a broken bone in his hand and also facing a good defense. Completed less than 50% of his passes, threw for only 139 yards, an average of 5.3, picking a touchdown. Not great. A lot of the damage that they did was with the ground game, and a lot of that was with Justin Herbert because the Eagles failed to play contained. At the end of the day, if we can bottle up Herbert, if we can force him to stay in the pocket, force him to make tough throws, I think we've got them, largely because his current hand injury is going to make him significantly less effective. Lastly, none of that matters if we cannot get the passing game in sync. Getting the run game going is great. Containing Justin Herbert is great. But it's all going to come down to, how does our offense perform in this one? Can we get up and down the field and score some points? Because that's been an issue over the last couple games. Fortunately, it has. The offense has been out of sync. And we're going to go through a couple instances of that, but it starts with receiver play. There were multiple instances in Week 14 of very, very poor receiver play, poor coaching for the receivers, Connor Embry, that disrupted our passing rhythm. We're going to start with a curl concept. This was on 4th and 4. Look at the separation here. Who's creating separation? Maybe Brashard at the bottom of the screen. Maybe. You could maybe argue that. It's not going to get there in time. That's going to get closed out. Top of the screen, Hollywood Brown. That's also going to get closed out. Let's focus on our 3 middle of the field receivers here. Covered up, covered up, covered up. Nobody's open. Nobody's working to get open. In this play, I wish I could show you the actual film of it because you would see it. All four of those guys run this curl, stop where they are, and then just let Patrick Mahomes get the ball tipped up. This was the play that he ultimately got tipped back to him for a loss of 10 yards. Brutal. You've got to work more to get open. You've got to help out your quarterback. But 15, Mahomes is not without a role in this. He is not without his own difficulties in these situations. He does need some more help, but the decision-making has also been questionable. Let's go to our next gameplay screenshot here. And I want you guys to look at a couple options on screen and decide where you think might be best to throw the football. So first up, we've got Rashee Rice down here. Solid separation right there. May be a tough catch if you throw it in there, but he's at the sticks. That's a first down. Fire that ball in there. Rashee's a big boy. He's tough. He's got separation on Derek Stingley. That's a catchable ball. We've also got Hollywood Brown breaking out here with Kamari Lassiter. I know it's a little bit tough to see, but his hips are turned. He is looking at Patrick Mahomes, and Hollywood Brown has all this space right here. That safety is not going to get there in time. That safety is not closing that gap if you drop it in right there. That could have been right to the sideline for 20 yards. Where does Mahomes go with the ball on this play? Travis Kelce, right there, trying to draw a defensive pass interference penalty. He throws it to Kelce. Take what the defense gives you. Why are we passing up two open receivers? What are we doing? That's 10 yards, 20 yards. Right there, we pass up on it to try to get a 15-yard pass interference penalty. Take what you're given. And lastly, speaking of being given things, catch a ball. Oh my God. 6 drops in week 14. Catch a ball. Our receiver, unacceptable. 6 drops in week 14. One of which turned into the game-sealing interception. Help Mahomes out. Mahomes, help yourself out. Get the passing game back in rhythm. We could beat the Chargers, but it isn't going to happen the way we played last week. Too much dysfunction in this passing offense. Way too much dysfunction. And ultimately, when we get into my score prediction here, reflects. I think we win this game, but I do not think it is high scoring. I think we win 14-13, leaning on our defense heavily. Cameron Dicker, great kicker. I think he's going to come out multiple times in this one. I think they kick 3 field goals because they can't score in the red zone. We get 2 critical touchdowns, and that ends up being the difference in this one in a 1-point ball game. Our defense gets critical stops for the win. We lean on them hard, and we end up taking it away. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you agree with me? Do you think the score is going to end up differently? Predict it in the comments for me. Let me know what your final score prediction is for this one. And comment real one if you made it to this point in the video after you comment your score prediction. Let me know that you are a real one, that you're subscribed to the channel, and that you're hanging out with us here. And make sure you do remember, we've got our instant reaction to the game on Sunday. That'll be coming out right after. We're in the noon window, so it should be out that afternoon. So make sure you guys don't miss that. We will see you then. Until then, let's go Chiefs.